The Golosky family started back when my grandfather came here in 1903. My grandmother was born in Isle Cross, Saskatchewan. She was born in 1890, somewhere in there. Anyway, my dad was born in 1915. My grandfather was Romanian. My grandmother was a Cree. My dad was the oldest, 5 brothers. And they were trappers, carpenters, ship carpenters, worked on wooden boats. My grandfather, for having no education, he was a business guy. He was always thinking about business. Everybody did whatever it did to help the family survive. And we had jobs. I did laundry for the workers for NTCL in the summer. And our job was to deliver laundry and, chopping wood and feeding dogs. My dad had sleigh dogs. Among other chores, we had no snowmobiles. We did our spring hunt, we did our moose hunt in the fall, and we trapped on the weekends, and we never played sports because we didn't have sports. We played baseball in the summer at school. We all helped out. Because McMurray at the time, where it was a small community, maybe 800 people. I went to St. John's School, down by where the Peter Pond is today. We started with one welding rig in 1984. We started a company called Clearwater Welding and Fabricating Limited. Got my brothers involved. 2 brothers were welders. We got our first contract with Syncrude in 1986. We held on to that contract doing all the shutdown maintenance in the mine from 1986 till I sold in 2011. Then in the meantime, we had started a company, Golosky Trucking, and that was my wife and my brothers were that. So what we tried to do is we did integration so that we always would start one company that helped support the next company. So because we couldn't get material cheap enough here, we started a trucking company. And then we hauled our scrap metal from here to Edmonton, which helped cover our cost to bring the material back. And then we gradually grew and kept growing. My brothers and my wife were the backbones that kept everything going. Carol kept everything running smoothly, running all of our businesses from the background. And we had all of our family involved. It was a family business. To start a welding company in 1984, it wasn't a popular thing to do. The banks had no faith in companies because the failure rate in 1981 and that for welding companies was very high. So the banks said we were a big risk. We proved them wrong. We started and we managed to keep growing. We had a lot of obstacles when it started out. Like I say, we were an Aboriginal business back in 1984 up till the 90s, till 93. We weren't on equal footings with everybody else, right? We had to prove that we could do stuff. We had a lot of hurdles we had to overcome, and we had to prove that just because we were from Fort McMurray, from the northern part of the province. And so I had 2 roles when I worked with young people. We had only 2 things I needed, but I said, I will work with you to help you get an apprenticeship. The 2 things I need is this. 1, show up for work every day. 2, be willing to learn. We look at what we can do for the future and what can we do to make McMurray better. I'm never leaving here. I said McMurray is home. Carol and me have been married 54 years. My daughter just turned 53, and we're hoping that they'll keep invested in the community and have a passion for McMurray like we have. It's been very good to us. It's been good to our family over 100 years. I hate to see it fail. What I'd like to see for the future of McMurray is if we have steady growth. We've been through many hurdles, a lot of rough times, but I think we're resilient enough to overcome all of this because we're McMurray people. And people from all over. I want to see McMurray prosper. I wanted to go back to where we had. Prior to the boom, McMurray was a really good community. We had 2 major industries here, companies. We had a population, 35,000 people. We had a lot of stuff we didn't have. It was a good community, and we still have that. Even though we're bigger, we still have people that care about the communities. The first anybody needs help, the United Way or the food bank or this, the people jump in, right? They're very given that way. And we got to maintain that. We can keep our identity and prove to the world that McMurray is not a dirty place. And it's a beautiful place. I've been in many businesses, and I met a lot of very good people, senior managers, CEOs, presidents of corporations, and I also met people that were on the streets, and you learn from them. Everybody that you meet, you can learn from. There's something good in everybody. The advice that everybody wants to be treated properly. Treat everybody like you'd like to be treated.